Welcome back to Theresa.is.Dead. My name is Theresa and I'm very much alive. And if you're new here, welcome. I have an awful garbage mouth, and if you're not into that, or weird shit in general, this is not the place for you. Feel free to exit out the video here, no harm, no foul. But I'll remember our time fondly. If you want to jump straight to the overall review of the products, I'll leave a time code down below. Feel free to jump ahead. Guys, we are almost fucking out of here, beach. I cannot fucking wait. I'm so goddamn excited. It's 6 more days. So this is probably going to be one of the last videos that I film here. And it's, you know, it's bittersweet. It really is. Because I've actually almost filmed 200 videos in this house. And we're going, and we're gonna go to a new place. And we actually visited the apartment today because we had to get like a top block thing. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. We had to go there, and it was just so goddamn quiet. Like, you hear the birds chirping. There was a cardinal befriending a fucking squirrel. I was like, what Disney fucking movie am I in right now, beach? Like, why can't I move in today? But no one said I have to stay in this shithole for another 6 days and try to hope for the best. And it's been great. I've been getting scratched in the middle of the night.
Did someone just scratch me?
Because I'm pretty sure the demons are not very happy that I'm leaving. And my neighbors have been complete full force fuck faces, just screaming every goddamn night. But you know what? It's gonna be okay, because in 6 more days, I'm out of this motherfucker, and I cannot wait. So the last 2 days, me and Alex have been running around back and forth between IKEA and Target. So before we were about to go to IKEA, me and Alex were like, oh, we're so famished. I need to eat something before I die. And we decided to go to this fast food restaurant that was very, very close to IKEA. We order our food. I head to the bathroom. I come back. There I see Alex staring off into the distance in horror. I'm thinking, oh my God, what the fuck happened? So I go up to him and I said, what happened? What's wrong? He goes,
look to your left.
So I look over to my left, and there was a man, very well dressed. Very well dressed. I cannot stress this enough, how well dressed he was, okay? Like, it was almost like he was an eyesore in this place. That's how well dressed he was. And there he was, go-gurting mayonnaise packets into his mouth, and then following it up with a hot sauce packet as if it were a chaser. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna say that again. This man was sitting at a table to himself, nobody else with him, taking mayonnaise packets, like, you know, like the long mayonnaise packets, squirting them to his mouth, grabbing a hot sauce packet, and then doing the same. And then after he swallows, he does this. Okay, so we basically watched this man probably demolish, not even joking, probably anywhere from like 20 to 30 fucking packets of both mayonnaise and hot sauce, okay? Mayonnaise and hot sauce back to back. I was like blown away. So because where I was sitting, I couldn't, like, you know, just do this. So Alex was in a much better position to kind of stare at him and then give me the play-by-play as it was happening. And apparently all the man had in front of him was just a small fry container. Not even a drink, bitch, okay? It was a small fry container and then a fucking, like, graveyard of empty sauce packets next to it. So as we were completing our meals and deciding to get the fuck out of there because it was terrifying, we had to pass his table in order to, like, dump our garbage and leave the restaurant. As we're fucking walking, we now see this man taking a ketchup packet, not one of those peel and squirt ones, all right? We're talking about ones like this one, okay? He literally was holding it like this and fucking tongue punching it. He is literally going down on a ketchup packet, all right? Like, do you understand what I'm seeing right now? This is a restaurant there's children in, and I'm like what the fuck is this? And of course nobody says anything. Nobody. Why would you? What could you possibly say? Like, could you please stop doing that? You're scaring my family. No, he just continued to I can't even. Nasty. Okay, so anyway, so that's my Saturday. How's yours? On today's video, we're going to be talking about the Juvia'S Place I Am Magic Foundation and Concealer. First and foremost, I'm a huge fan of Juvia'S Place. I love the shit out of their eyeshadow palettes and their highlighters, as well as their blush books. I was very excited to try this foundation because if it's anything like their eyeshadow formulas or their highlighters, I'm going to love this because I feel like Juvia'S Place has really good quality. When I heard this was coming out, I was very excited, and then I was like, ooh, velvety matte. Now, if you don't know me, hi, my name is Theresa. I am a garbage person. I don't like matte foundations because it ages your bitch out. I am going to be 34 this year, and I don't want to look like an old shoe. And anytime I try matte foundations, for the most part, it ages me and I basically look like a fucking walking mummy. So I get very scared and go anytime I see a matte foundation. So the day that the foundation launched, Nikki Tutorials also launched a video on YouTube showing how she used the product and which product she used and all that good stuff. And I'm glad that she did, because my biggest complaint with this product is, while I really do commend them for having the 42 shades, I love how the shade range appears. I love how it's fucking darkest to the lightest. I think that's awesome. My only issue is that they didn't really have a lot of swatches out. So by the time that you were able to purchase it, you're trying to figure out on your computer screen what looks best to what. And this is not a comment to them, but it's just a comment I think in general to a lot of brands that launch their foundations online before they launch it in the store. It's like, well, how am I going to figure out my shade? Because those little dots, after a while, they all look the fucking same, and it's impossible to know what your true shade is. The shade that I chose was BALI 720, and I chose it because Nikki Tutorials used it. I believe she used it in her review. Me and Nikki have very similar skin tones, so I figured, well, if it looked good on that uncooked piece of chicken, it's probably gonna look good on my weird ass, so let's try it. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have got this one because it is a touch yellow and a touch too dark for me. I think I probably should have went with the lightest foundation. So I think what I am going to do is when this is released in Ulta, which I believe is going to be maybe in 2 weeks from now, I'm going to go look at it in the store and test what my proper foundation shade is. I will say that what I was able to create with this little guy is fine. I think it looked beautiful, and it's very, very hard to tell that this foundation is darker. And I'm actually, you know what? I take that back. I'm not mad that I got this one because I think this is going to be a good color for me in the summertime because of how it oxidizes on me. It actually kind of gives me a nice, like, healthy looking tannish skin, which is great considering I am terrified of the sun. So I want to give the appearance of looking like I'm a normal human being, but in reality I'm hiding inside of a room that has blackout shades. So I was able to play with this product for the past 2 days now, and I really wanted to put it to the test. And the reason why I wanted to test this product out the last 2 days is because I knew I was going to be running around, going to store to store to store, and also spending a lot of money, which in turn would make my asshole tighten and make me sweat. So I really wanted to put this foundation to the test and see, like, okay, this is supposed to be very long wearing. Let's see if that is true. I have to say it is. This is probably one of the better foundations that I have tried this year. Granted, I love my Found Sealer, and I will always love my Found Sealer. That one is perfection. But this is pretty fucking good. It's definitely full coverage, and I will kind of show you a little swatchy poo. So I'm actually going to put this on my little tattoo right now. As you can see, that's the color, and in about 5 minutes you'll see how dark it fucking gets. Anyway, as you can see, that's where my tattoo was. No longer there. So for the past 2 days, I pretty much worn this the same exact way. I've used Tatcha Silk Canvas as well as the Milk Makeup Hydra Primer, and I did use the J1 Jelly Pack. Only because I really do love those two primers because it actually does lock in all your makeup, especially if you're gonna be running around and sweating and all that good stuff. So I use those two primers, and I also use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. The reason why I use that particular product is because when Nikki Tutorial came out with her video, she mentioned how she also has combination skin, normal to dry for the most part, except around her T-zone area, which is pretty oily. So it's kind of very similar to me, except this area doesn't get that oily. It kind of gets a little bit more dry here, but it gets like oily around here and here. She said that for a matte foundation, it's really good if you kind of have a lot of hydrating primers or hydrating moisturizers. It kind of gives you more of the appearance of like a healthier glow. So I took her advice and put Charlotte Tilbury all over my face, and then I applied the foundation. I'm also going to leave a link down below to my friend here. Her name's Tara Lynn. If you don't know her, go check her out. I don't even know how you don't know her. She's fucking fantastic. She is one of my good fucking friends on this platform. I love her little fucking adorable face, and she just turned 40 and it was her birthday, and she's such a little cute little tiny little lamb chop, and I love her. I'm gonna leave a link down to a video she did, I want to say like maybe a week ago, where she talked exclusively about her love for Charlotte Tilbury, because that bitch loves Charlotte Tilbury a lot. And she also put in a lot of either dupes or alternatives, and I know there is a dupe for the Hollywood Flawless Filter because I believe it retails for $44, and it's fucking expensive. So if you don't want to spend that money, which I don't blame you, you can get, I think there's like a NYX one. I don't know. I'm gonna link down her video. Go check it out. Go say hello to her. She's a beautiful fucking creature, and I love her. So hi Tara. Hey. Very, very happy to actually use that combination because I feel like that actually made my makeup look so much better. I've had worn this foundation for about, I would say 10 to 12 hours, and the only places where I actually lose a little bit of coverage is kind of in the areas that I always lose coverage, which is usually right around my chin from like eating and drinking, and then occasionally like right around my nose. But for the most part, everything fucking stays the same, and it's impressive. Like, I don't even understand how that fucking does that. So let me zoom you right in. So I've been wearing this foundation since about 7 o'clock this morning, and it is 6 o'clock tonight, and it looks great still. Granted, I did lose a little coverage right here because I do have a demon scratch there. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but whatever. We're not going to talk about that. I want to show you kind of like my nose. Usually my nose is where I can tell if a foundation is really good or not. Usually by this time it looks like a piece of shit. Like I literally, you just see my skin poking through like a zombie apocalypse. It actually held up pretty fucking well. There is some dryness a little bit over here, but for the most part, fucking great. I noticed with this foundation foundation. It did not settle in any of my lines up here. Did lose a little coverage up here though. So while this foundation did not settle in any lines up here, it did settle in right over here. But nothing too crazy. Like I kind of patted it out with my finger and it was fine, but it did settle right there. Also keep in mind, after I came back from IKEA, I had to take a 2-hour nap and I did sleep. So I think half of my makeup is actually on my pillow. So not bad. So is this makeup transfer proof? No, it's not, because I did experience a little slight transferring when I was talking on the phone and I was resting my face on the phone. I did have a nice little foundation ring, so that's always fun. I also kind of want to zoom you in and show you how much this shit oxidized. As you can see, this shit oxidizes like a motherfucker. But the bitch is full coverage. If you were interested in getting this foundation, I would say the best things that worked for me is pretty much just applying a little bit and working your way in. Don't apply a lot of it on your face. I feel like if you do too much, you're just gonna look overly cakey and crazy and nobody ain't got time for that shit. So when you are working with it, a little bit goes a long way. The other thing too is that I did try it with a brush and I fucking hated how it looked with a brush. It somehow made my face look drier. So I had to immediately stop what I was doing and then go over it with a sponge, and now it looks amazing, beautiful, a-okay. So with that said, I actually think this is a pretty solid fucking foundation. The biggest complaint that I have is the shade range. Not to say that the shade range is bad, it's just, it's very difficult to tell online what shade you're fucking picking. So I really wish that Juvia'S Place, as well as like Trend Mood, would actually come out with like really nice fucking swatches of these colors, because it is so hard to tell online, especially with their photos. It's just like everything starts to look the same and you're really taking a gamble. So with that said, my biggest recommendation to you guys is, if you do have an Ulta available where you live, go check this shit out in person, because it will save you the time and hassle of having a panic attack trying to figure out what fucking shade you are. I believe they are going to be releasing it in the store, not next week, the following week. I want to say maybe in 2 weeks from now. So definitely go check out your local Ulta. If you do not have an Ulta available to you, then you're fucked. You just gotta fucking pick the best shade. On the bright side, it's only $20. It's not breaking the bank. And I have to say, for like an indie brand foundation, this is fantastic. This is really fucking great. And I'm very happy that I pulled the trigger and bought this, because I think now that I'm in the process of moving, this is the foundation that I'm actually going to be using now until I get to the new place or whatever, and then have all my other makeup packed out, because I like how long this stuff lasts and it actually withstands extreme temperatures. So I'm very, very happy with this foundation. I cannot recommend this enough. Oh, also, before I do want to mention, the formula on this guy is a tad bit thick. It's not runny, so I think that's why a little bit goes a long way. I notice when a formula is very, very thin, I usually have to use a lot of product in order for it to kind of like stick and adhere to my face. But when it's a thick girl, I usually just do a little bit, and I find that a little bit does go a long way. So that is definitely true in this case. So next thing I want to talk about is the concealer. First, the packaging is fucking adorable. I love this. I love how this matches with the foundation, and this is cool. Aesthetically though, I think I prefer the packaging of the concealer over the packaging of the foundation. While I think this is really cute, there's something about this that is just like so sleek and pretty, and just, it makes me want to grab for it. I actually like this concealer. However, I still want to kind of test it out a little bit more. My first impression, I did kind of have two experiences with it. So the first day that I applied it, one, I think the color that I chose is wonderful. This is in the shade 22. So let me give you a nice little swatchy poo right there. I think I actually chose a beautiful shade, and it actually looks closer to my skin tone. So that's what I needed in foundation. Jesus Christ. Anyway, it felt very, very hydrating on my skin. It does dry down. The thing I had to do though is I had to use setting powder very quickly after I used this product, because this bitch creases like a motherfucker. When I first applied this product, I didn't set it right away, and I kind of waited like 10 minutes, and I noticed I had a giant line. And granted, as you can see, I do have very, very fine lines. Like whatever, I'm getting older. I can't get fucking rid of them, okay? Like, it is what it is at this point. They were very stark. It was like literally slits, as if I was like a fucking baguette loaf. So I wasn't a complete fan of that. So that day, when I did try to set the powder underneath my eyes, I think because I waited too long, it just wasn't sticking. So it actually kind of looked a little bit dry here. So I was like, man, I'm not really a fan of this concealer. I don't really like how it looks. Every couple of hours, I would just have like a huge crease mark. So I would have to constantly like pat it out with my finger. It would go away. And then another hour or so, I would have like a huge crease. Today, however, I love how it looks. And I think it's because I set it immediately right after I applied it. So once I applied it, I actually used the Hourglass translucent setting powder, the loose setting powder, and the shit stuck. The only place that I kind of lost coverage was right over here because I have like a cut right here, and that's as expected because, you know, it's a wound. But over here though, it actually still looks pretty fucking good. And my under eyes actually don't look that dry. I mean, yeah, I actually did lose a little coverage right here. But like up here though, I'd say it looks pretty decent. So while I really do like this product, I feel like I can't say that I recommend it right off the bat, only because I want to play around with it a little more, because I don't like that I've experienced two different results. I will definitely leave a pinned comment down below, as well as I'll kind of update you guys on Instagram and all that good shit, or probably like in a kind of follow-up video letting you know how I feel about this. I think for the $14 price tag, it's wonderful. You get 0.34 fluid ounces. I do love the shade range on this guy. He did a pretty good job getting a good shade for me. And as you can see, the shit dries down pretty fast. So that's why I think it's the best that as soon as you apply it, you fucking set it, because otherwise it's going to freeze the ever-loving shit out of you. Let me know down below how you feel about these products, if you received them, if you're waiting for them to come to Ulta, if you don't really care about them, you don't give a fuck. Let me know down below because I love hearing from you guys. And yeah, oh my god, I think this might be my last video while I'm here. It's fucking crazy. Oh my god. Take it in, guys, because this will all be changed soon enough. On that note, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I'm not gonna miss that sound. I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. As always, feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, it's free, and hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Discord. On Thursdays, we have a wonderful podcast, Miserable 3, which is kind of on hiatus until we get to the new apartment, so probably not going to be out for at least another week or two, but I will always have all my information down below, so feel free to check us out. And yeah, I guess that's about it. I'll see you little pumpkins later. Bye.